Well, looks like the time has finally come. I like to think that my presence here on YouTube can be boiled down to two different things: the Kirby franchise and ROM hacks. It was inevitable that at some point, both those topics were going to come together and there was going to be a Kirby ROM hacks episode. It just made sense, right? Oh boy, what's taking Anthony so long? Hey, here we are. I always knew that this was something that people wanted to see, but admittedly, I found it pretty tough to finally pull the trigger. If you've seen the previous ROM hack episodes, you know that I love looking at a wide variety of hacks that the franchise has to offer. But for the longest time, the Kirby series in particular was pretty barren. People just weren't really trying to modify these games, and I mean, why mess with perfection, you know what I'm saying? But recently, a hack was released that just ignited that Kirby ROM hack spark once again. Kirby Superstar Stacker. Now, I have talked about this game before. It's just a Super Nintendo version of the Game Boy puzzle game Star Stacker. However, it is the only retail game in the franchise to never leave Japan. And the most acknowledgement that we ever got from it was that Dedede's theme in it was the core influence of the awesome Master Dedede theme that's used in modern games. However, finally, the game is fully available in English, and it is great. I mean, it doesn't really amount to a whole lot. You know, I can now read the menus. That's nice. And I can understand what this Waddle Dee in pain was saying all this time. Ah yes, interesting. It doesn't make the difficulty spike at the end of the story mode any easier, but still. I approve. Now, considering typical ROM hack episodes tend to focus on games of the named series and that's about it, it's important to note that when it comes to Kirby, most of the stuff that you'll find is Kirby being thrown into other series instead. Ah yeah, of course Sonic was gonna make his way into one of these episodes somehow. Now, I have already covered these in the past, but I will be damned if they're not still super entertaining. Kirby in Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. They are more or less exactly what you think they are. You play through the respective adventures, except, of course, Kirby has his ability to inhale anything on screen and the surrounding area, all at the push of a button. And instead of Tails in the second game, a Waddle Dee. I love this, man. Waddle Dee needs more love. But hey, how about something new? Why not go the extra mile? Kirby Mania. It's just some Kirby sprites on top of the existing characters, and some of the music is replaced with Kirby remixes, but hey, modding for Sonic Mania is still in its infancy. Regardless, it's pretty neat all the same. Kirby and Mario games, on the other hand, is certainly something that's way more common. Bam. Let's Apoyo. There were so many hacks of Super Mario World where you play as the pink puffball. Oh my goodness. There's Kirby's Adventure in Mario World, there's Super Kirby, there's Kirby in Master Hand's Doomsday, there's Kirby's Dream World. These are your run-of-the-mill level modification hacks with some graphical changes here or there, but despite Super Mario World having a ton of hacking potential, all of Kirby's mechanics are nowhere to be seen in any of these. You just play as Kirby. I still enjoyed them, absolutely, so if you want to play some Kirby games without the typical Kirby stuff, for some reason, here you go. I even found one based on the original Super Mario Bros. Kirby's Adventure 2. It's the second verse, same as the first. Graphical hack with Kirby in it. I'm cool with it. There's even a Super Mario Kart mod, Mario Kart R, where Kirby is playable. And it was made all the way back in 2004. This whole putting Kirby in random Mario games thing, it's been around for quite some time now. And I know the obvious question, what about Kirby games proper? They have to have some sort of hacks out there for you to talk about. And haven't you already covered enough Mario and Sonic ROM hacks to fill an entire lifetime? Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, it took a little bit of time, but I finally have a sizable list of notable ROM hacks to talk about, though it really only covers two different games. The first of them, Kirby's Dream Course, aka Kirby Mini Golf. This is a pretty fun game. I wasn't the biggest fan myself, but to deny just how much other people love it would be ridiculous. And if you're one of those people, check this out. First off, we have Kirby's Dank Course, a series of brand new single-player levels. Nothing really fancier than that, but if you've already played the original to death and you're dying for more content, this is absolutely for you. But what if you're more of a fan of the multiplayer? Well, there is one hack that I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are familiar with. That certainly looks familiar. So if you're unfamiliar with Grump's Dream Course, even though it may seem like something that may be a reference to another thing that may be on the YouTube platform, I will say that if you're a fan of the multiplayer in the original game, oh, this is perfect for you. It's a series of brand new levels for multiplayer. Man, bumping into each other all the time, fighting for whoever gets the most stars, learning what to do and what not to do as both players see the stage for the first time. The multiplayer in this game is something special, I will admit. It's perfect for something like a two-person Let's Play show, I would say. But now onto Kirby's Adventure, basically the only game where some interesting stuff happens in the modding community. Things did start off pretty simple though, you know? Like one of the earliest hacks out there was one that simply allowed you to keep the UFO ability after completing levels. Something extra awesome considering that you're able to get the ability right in the first stage. And the challenge is now see how long you can play through the entire game by keeping the UFO ability with you. It's pretty awesome actually. Oh yeah, take it, you big dumb tree. Oh, this interstellar massacre just feels right after all these years. There are a few other simple hacks out there. There's Vegetable Valley Nightmare. Basically, it's the entirety of the game's first world with no breaks in between. Can you surpass the incredibly high difficulty of the franchise that everybody claims is too easy? Yeah, of course I can. It would be incredibly embarrassing if I couldn't, considering how much I've played this stupid game. This idea then sort of morphed into another hack, Kirby's Adventure Restitched. Now, basically the entire game is played in sequential order. There's no world maps, just doors that lead from one level to the next. Pretty cool idea. Or, you know, we could just... Alright, you know, nothing about this on the forefront really seems right. But I mean, some of the enemies were changed to the ones from Wario Land. That's pretty cool. And the ability portraits were all adjusted to have Wario in it instead. You know what? That's actually really good attention to detail. You know, the more I think about it, why not? Wario had that weird inhaling ability in Wario World, so why wouldn't this make sense? But on to the two hacks that actually did something pretty neat. The two-part main event. First off, Kirby's Bizarre Adventure. No, it's not a JoJo reference. Let me just stop you right there. So, you know how one of Kirby's main abilities is being able to float infinitely thanks to his adorable, puffy, air-filled cheeks? Well, what if he couldn't do that? That's what Bizarre Adventure is looking to figure out. This is actually way more bizarre to play than you would think. Yeah, you know, Kirby's always been considered a platformer, but when it comes time to actually do some platforming? Yeah. The other hack is by far the most advanced one of the bunch, a Japanese hack with no actual name, but was programmed by Purasabe, or Purasabe, I can never figure out how to say their name. Now, if you've paid close enough attention, this isn't the first time that we've talked about them. They've done some really cool and sadistic stuff last time I checked them out, and as for Kirby, well damn. First off, we have a modified homeworld with multiple levels accessible from the start, and right off the bat in level 1, we're introduced to a season swapping gimmick, similar to what we saw in Kirby Superstar. You can't get past the waterfall? Well, just change things over to winter, now it becomes snow, and there you go. The idea with this hack was to give every single level its own unique feel. Like, here we have Quick Man stage from Mega Man 2. Sick. This took me forever and a million save states to finally get through. Yeah, it was really fun. But hey, once you finally get past it, more Kirby goodness. I'm actually kind of upset there aren't more video game references to be found here. All the music has been swapped out too. There are some remixes of newer Kirby songs in the Kirby's Adventure sound font, and that is actually awesome. I didn't know it was possible to hear this on an NES ROM. This was really the only ROM hack that I could find that shows off this amount of technical prowess. Now, it did take a few years for NES Mario, Super Mario World, Genesis Sonic to have some real genuine creativity shine through, but for the time being, this is all we have. But if this hack is anything to go by, the future is looking bright, and I am very excited to see what people come up with. There is a hack of Superstar Ultra as well that I wanted to bring up called Superstar Extra, which modifies the level designs for some of the game modes. And it is fun, but still, it's relatively basic stuff. It's just nice to see that there's more than 2 Kirby games being modified nowadays. You see this here? This is more of what I want. Kirby's Dream Land Advance, a Nightmare in Dreamland inspired recreation of the original Game Boy game. There's no copy abilities, the enemies behave slightly differently like they did back in that source game. There are brand new sprites for the enemies that only existed in this adventure. Everything was done here to make it feel like an honest to goodness official remake akin to, well, the official one that we got for Kirby's Adventure. But the interesting thing about this isn't a ROM hack, it's just a fan game, meaning one that's not played with an emulator, but was developed to just be played as its own program. Now I know I don't really delve into those too often, but I just had to talk about this. When I first saw it, I was convinced it was an actual hack, and I got super excited. But regardless, I had a blast playing it, and I highly recommend it. What? Oh, what? Just because every single ROM hack episode has ended off with some sort of big meme grand finale, that this one was going to have the same thing? Well, I'm sad to report there's nothing overly meme-y in the Kirby franchise. Just yet. I did want to take this time, though, to showcase my favorite hack of the bunch. I love this one to death, and it's for very simplistic reasons. Kirby's Halloween Adventure. Ha ha ha. Boo. Honestly, this is just a graphic hack. Nothing more, nothing less. I mean, the level design does change up every now and then, but it's pretty minuscule. But man, this was so well done. The changes to the aesthetics with each and every level and world was awesome to see. I was compelled to move forward with the adventure just to see what modifications laid before me. Everything about this really fits that sort of childish, spooky vibe. Like the world names, those are super appropriate. Pumpkin Prairie, Spooky Seaside. The silly references were also really great to see. And that was probably the best part of the entire thing, the ability icons. They're so clever. I really like this one. High jump, he's Superman. That's adorable. This was the one I don't really understand though. The wheel one. It's just the wheel. It's different and it's not bad art, but okay. Oh no. Oh my God. Kirby. Oh no, he has headphones on. He can't hear us. No!